both of these games came down to yesterday on Sunday, were played in the snow, and it really changed the whole complexion of the competition. I mean, it really came down to which team was better suited to adapt to awful conditions, and the teams that did won. And it was just the teams that didn't turn the ball over, the teams that did less, that allowed the other teams to make mistakes. And that just makes me think of the Niners. I mean, when they've gone to the Super Bowl, they've been the number 1 seed both times. They've been able to play in Santa Clara in January, which it might rain, it might not. It's not going to snow. It won't be super cold. And it hasn't rained for them. If they, I mean, God forbid, not the number 1 seed, they got to go to Philadelphia, that team that looks like it's not going away anytime soon, or Washington, where it's can also be really cold in January. They got a big problem. You have to have a bad weather offense that you can go to. And the Rams didn't. The Niners, I mean, I'm not sure that they do. We've seen that their quarterback really struggles. We're talking about Brock. What's his middle name?
Alvin? No, I don't know. It sounds like
I
Alvin.
want to know. Brock something or other Purdy really struggles in the bad weather. And I couldn't help but think that the Niners would have been kind of screwed in those conditions yesterday.
Yeah, man. I mean, the 49ers need to get back to their identity.
Brock doesn't have a middle name?
He's got no. Is that true? I feel like
true?
Allen or Alvin.
He needs a middle name. Sorry, I just interrupted you. Brock Purdy, middle name.
The 49ers need to get back to their identity.
Doesn't have one. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's crazy. Just BP.
I like it though. Okay, you're up. I'm done. I'm muting myself.
I think they need to get back to their identity, man. They need to be the run dominant team with a great defense that stops the run. And they got a long ways to go. I mean, from a running standpoint, they're not far off. It's really about the play calling, I think. They just need to run, play action. That's what the 49ers need to do. Or if you're going to pass, get in a quick passing game. The drop back passing game is not 49ers strength, never has been. It's something that needs to develop. And kudos to Kyle for trying to figure it out, I guess. But you have to draft the players in order to do that. So hopefully they get back next year. Just run, play action. That needs to be their identity. But the problem is they also need a really good defense that stops the run. And that's where they're the furthest away from where they need to be.
That's true. But I'm with you. Their identity used to be, yeah, we pay our quarterback a lot of money, Jimmy Garoppolo, but he doesn't have a real ego. And we would love to beat you running 40 times. And he's cool throwing 8 times in a game. That used to be the Niners' identity. And now, and that was back when they had like Tevin Coleman and Matt Breida and Raheem Mostert. Like and Debo. They would really pile it on with a bunch of running backs. Now it's Christian McCaffrey, and they'll give him 20, 25 carries, but they won't let anyone else run the ball. So they're not as run heavy as they used to be. And it's a nice thing to be able to do. You know what? Today, this is how you win. Because to me, in these playoff games, or particularly the ones on Sunday, it was clear in the snow. You can win the game on the ground and you can lose the game in the air. You're not going to win the game in the air. You should be throwing no more than 20 times. And those passes should be freaking safety first, just to stay ahead of the chains. Like if you're going to win, it's going to be on the ground. And even a team that had Josh Allen understood that. They play in the snow all the time. He doesn't try to throw deep down the field. He threw for like 130 yards and had 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, Kyle's game plan. What game was it when it was snowing like crazy? I'm trying to remember that we played this last year.
Oh, Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah, he didn't have a good game plan. I mean, everything has to be straightforward. Whether you're running the ball or you're passing, it has to be straightforward. And Kyle didn't seem to have a good game plan for that. And Buffalo seemed to have figured that part out, probably because they play in it more often. But, I mean, it's football. It's played outdoors. And in January and December, when it matters most, guess what? That's the winter. So you kind of need to prepare for it. I think moving forward, the 49ers need to have that 1-2 punch at running back. Christian McCaffrey is great. And one thing that may be encouraging, hopefully, even though it's more of the exception than the rule, is how good Derrick Henry has been at his age. Mm-hmm. So hopefully Christian McCaffrey can come back and be as good as he was. We'll see.
They're built a little differently, though.
Oh, a lot differently. Yeah, a lot differently. Yeah, 250-pound running back.
I was thinking about that. Someone DM me. I haven't gotten back to him. It was an interesting question. Like, do you think that Derrick Henry's ability to stay dominant into his early 30s bodes well for Christian McCaffrey. I'm not sure that they're related. One guy's 245 pounds and is kind of built to push the pile.
And they have a
The other
300
guy's
pound
200
running back.
pounds and has an extensive injury history. Like, how many 200-pound running backs are good in their 30s?
And they have a 300-pound fullback. So
Yeah.
that's a little different also, right? Like,
and they have Lamar Jackson, who's like still
a threat,
drawing the most attention from the defense on those zone read plays.
Yeah.
They're still more scared of him than Henry, even though Henry's a future Hall of Famer. When McCaffrey's in the backfield, everyone's focused on him.
That's why I like the Christian and Mason combo, and we'll see if Mason even comes back. But Christian is a finesse running back. Our fullback is a finesse fullback. Right? Like we don't have a 300-pound dude just plowing the road ahead of Christian. So like it's a different style. I really feel like they need to figure that out. Like they need. I don't know what they're going to do with Jordan Mason. I don't know if he's realistically going to be able to come back. I would lean no. I would think he doesn't want to come back. Also, I think that's another factor that needs to be included in this. But they need that big power back, and I think they should upgrade the fullback position too. Like, who cares if your fullback can catch passes? I want a fullback that can just move dudes out the way. The 49ers really got to focus on it, and that's those type of running teams. That's what works in the snow. Right.
Yeah, I agree. And I think what's interesting too, like in these games, these quarterbacks make all this money. Lamar makes 53, I think 50 something, and Jalen's making 51. And you gotta have to like fight. Josh Allen's making 45. Play callers have to fight the urge to throw and justify the contract. Well, we're paying this quarterback all this money. We got to put the game in Lamar's hands. Like, no, you got to put it on his legs. It's snowing. He's a great player, but you still, even with a great Hall of Fame quarterback, the game plan is run the ball as much as possible. And if you have Lamar, he only ran the ball 6 times. Run 12 times. Run 15 times. Jaden Daniels ran, I think, 16 times in their win over the Lions. I mean, do what you got to do. Just saying.
Yeah. What was nuts, too, is in that third quarter how unstoppable Derrick Henry was and why they just didn't do that the entire time. Honestly, on that 2-point conversion, he was averaging like 5-6 yards per carry. I might have just tried to punch that in.
Why was Mark Andrews in a position to decide that game? Who the hell is Mark Andrews?
That was tough.
You could just run the ball.
He's going to have a tough few weeks.